At the start of World War II, the Russians, or Soviet Union, they were using the Mosin-Nagant rifle. This came out about 1891, and for the most part, the Soviets stuck with this through the entire war. Yeah, they came up with a shorter version in 44, more of a carbine version, but they cranked these things out by the millions. This very primitive, rough, poorly finished Mosin-Nagant rifle saw the length of the entire World War II. Pretty much unchanged. This Mosin-Nagant, you hear people talk about, I've heard it called a garbage rod. I've heard people talk about this horrible bolt action. And honestly, it's really not that bad a rifle. It shoots really well. It has that 7.62 by 54R, which was rimmed. Shoots that rimmed cartridge. It does hold 5 rounds, and it is stripper clip fed, but not that bad. Yes, it was thrown together. It could have been a little better polished, a little better machined, but very functional. And they turned these out by the millions, like I said, and they were quite effective. Let's talk about Stalingrad. Okay, not as bad as everybody says. Now the British, or the Commonwealth, they started World War II with this number 1 Mark III, firing a 303, British round. Again, an external box magazine, kind of an advance for a bolt action. This was fed with stripper clips, would hold 10 rounds. This was the gun used in World War I and was still in use in World War II. For a lot of British soldiers, the gun they were shooting was the same gun their father shot in the previous war. But they did go through some changes. After the start of World War II, once they got short on weapons, they came up with a cheaper, easier, quicker way to build that Lee-Enfield rifle, and they came up with the number 4 Mark I. So this was a little less complicated. They could turn these out a little bit quicker. Actually, an improvement in a lot of ways. Had much better sights. Still had that external 10-round box magazine. Like I said, fed through stripper clips. It had a little spike bayonet. Like I said, cheap, quick, fast. They could turn these out. So the British went from that number 1 Mark III to the number 4 Mark I. Huge improvement in manufacturing and probably in function, but they still kept with the bolt action design. If you were a Marine in the Pacific during World War II, you may have had this Springfield number 3, it's an 03A3, 1903 Springfield model A3. This was an improvement over the 1903 Springfield, had a greater sight radius, some more stamped parts, cheaper, easier, quicker to make, for the war effort. But at the start of World War II, the Americans were still fielding a bolt-action rifle. But by the end of the war, they'd moved from this, in my opinion, the nicest bolt-action rifle of World War II. Yes, I will argue that point with a lot of guys. This was a 5-round internal magazine, still fed with stripper clips, firing a 30-06 caliber. The greatest rifle round ever made. But maybe overkill. But by the end of the war, the U.S. had gone from this bolt-action rifle to probably the coolest rifle ever built, the M1 Garand. No longer a bolt action. This is now a semi-automatic, still clip-fed, both an end-block clip, and it held 8 rounds, again with that 30-06. They stuck with the 30-06 caliber because the BAR, the 1919, the machine gun, the sniper rifle, the Garand, everything all fired the same round. From a logistics standpoint, it made perfect sense to keep the 30-06 caliber in use. But now it's semi-auto. So probably the nicest. We went from the nicest bolt action of World War II to the nicest rifle of World War II. But they went away from that bolt action design, where other countries seem to keep it. God, I think this may be the ultimate battle rifle ever built. Why would you want anything better than this? Who needs optics? Who needs sights? Who needs a 30-round magazine? You've got 8 rounds of 30-06. That'll punch through walls. But during World War II, the the big three, the Allies. You had that Soviet bolt action, you had the British bolt action, and you had the American bolt action, and then you had the American semi-auto. Those were the main rifles of World War II. There was many other rifles used in the war. Those are just the big, most popular ones. And again, we're just talking about the Allies here. Those Germans, they had some kind of Mauser rifle. I'm not sure what that was. Anyway, just kind of comparing things, taking a look around. See you in the next video.